Good morning, my peeps. Coming at you from the backyard. It is a Dadda day, one of 2 in a row. Trying to stay consistent, trying to keep my regime of 30 days. I'm going to challenge myself to 30 days. Doing a little 10-minute hello. So, what do I have for you today? My thoughts today are routine. Been really enjoying my groove of routine. I've been trying to batch work into segments in the morning and in the evening. And so I just did a little batch of emails. I'm not going to check them again until, say, 5 p.m. Stay in touch with people twice a day seems more than enough, right? Nothing pressing that I'm expecting, so should be good. Now here I sit in the backyard in this really great fort that we're checking out briefly. I'm thinking about doing a little bit more of a storytelling with my yard and my home and my animals, but not quite yet. So perhaps to come. Today we did filter work in our home. If you have a home and you have filters, dryer filter, washer filter, dehumidifier filter, the gaskets, wiping them out, I have set a schedule for myself monthly to do our air filter and our HVAC system and the air intake. And we suddenly thought about today, let's do more than that. So this is mid-month. We could do beginning of the month, mid-month. Keep on a cycle. But that's what we're up to today. I'm going to be trying to push some more buttons on the website. I'm going to be upgrading it to a paid service, purchase a domain, invest. That's been a little bit of a challenging part for me, which is to spend money on something that may very well fail. However, you gotta do that. You gotta get through that little push to make change. If my goal is to create a business that has a website that introduces mindfulness and routine and potentially a mentorship program tomorrow, I'm going to be piloting my mentorship program with my buddy, and it's going to be a monthly meal mentorship. So I'm going to pop in, meet him at 10 o'clock at his place, take an inventory of his supplies, his larder or his pantry, his fridge, and then we're going to go to the store together. We're going to get veg, legumes, grains, fat, oil, pop back to his place, prepare a bunch of prep work, prepare a bunch of stuff that he can unscrew a jar, toss into a pot, and in 20 minutes have a nutritious meal. And of course, you double that, you've got lunch the next day. Anyway, I'm going to try to set him up so that he's got 30 days worth of food, at least beginning to think of that in that way. And then introducing copy canning. So if he buys vegan hot dogs, that's a bad example. If he buys pasta, instead of buying 1 box, buy 2 until he has 6. And then don't buy another one and just only replace what you're using. So probably gonna flesh that out a little more. Not sure if I necessarily explain that thoroughly. Still can't think of that word about the density of wood and how it relates to how much energy it has. Just gonna figure that one out. So a little bit of a cameo here. That is a raccoon that doesn't leave. We're pretty sure it's a raccoon, so I'm pretty interested in science and ecology, and they say that they're not, great with chickens, and ducks, but it turns out this raccoon's pretty good. He listens pretty well. Stay. So there's that. 5 minutes in. Tomorrow, meal mentorship. Today, cleaning filters, flu season, cold season, nose goes. No, we're trying to boost our protocol for all of the bugs that get passed around. Just listened to a podcast on superbugs. I might be beginning to link things into the show notes for podcasts that I'm listening to if anybody's interested in following along. But yeah, makes you think about washing your hands and like proper protocol for actually making bubbles occur. And cleaning, staying clean. So that's what we're doing today. We're focusing on kind of battening down the hatches, cleaning up. I'm gonna be chopping, dropping some of the plants that have grown up and starting to touch the house. Definitely don't want branches on the roof. There's a holly that's doing that. It's not okay. We've set a boundary there. You're here, roof here. Together, not good. So it is beautiful. It is gray. It is a little windy. But the temperature feels great. There's that shoulder season vibe in the air. It reminds me of making chili and cornbread and hearty, delicious meals. So we're gonna be doing some cooking today. We're gonna pop to the store, fill up our perishables. You know, we blow through the eggs, bread, milk, butter. We've been putting a loaf of bread, so we're buying 2 loaves, sourdough, delicious. Putting one in the freezer, and then, you know, it's 4 slices in the morning. Sometimes lunch knocks out more of the loaf, and to have that reserve in the freezer, it's beautiful. Just pop it out, next day, it's ready to go. So that's the protocol today. We are cleaning the filters. We are preparing for the meal mentorship tomorrow. I'm writing some notes. I sent him home a little homework. Start preparing, going through some of his stuff. So I'm thinking about adding another page to my website, and I think I might very well publish it today, or upgrade it and purchase a domain and start to link it in. So it's going to be agent change. And so I'm really interested in helping people navigate through the wonky times we're living, and things that I've found that have been helpful in that space are just to try to think a wee bit ahead. You know, the future self journal that I do in the morning has been helping with intentionality of what I'm focusing on, the pattern that I'm trying to shift away from. And a lot of it has to do with present moment, staying present and not reacting, rather taking one breath to respond. Breath work has been big for me. It's been really helpful. No matter what the problem is, one belly breath, one full exhalation, the next thought that comes seems to be much more productive and responsive versus reactive. So that's what I'm working on today. That's been what I've been journaling about. I've been reading more. Braiding Sweetgrass is fantastic literature. The story is really well written. This author was deciding whether she was going to be a poet or a scientist, and chose scientist, and then ended up writing a book or a few books. I haven't really looked at her full repertoire, but Braiding Sweetgrass. I'll mention the author's name, something Hall something. She has Hall. The chapter I'm reading is her admittance into forestry school as a First Nations person, and the interview for the freshman, the person was very skeptical as to what her interest was in botany, and she ties in a beautiful storyline, and she got her PhD in botany, so she's an accomplished professor in that space, and also just really well written. She's incredibly poetic. So here we are, 10.5 minutes. I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna maybe toss in a little title, maybe do a little bit of editing. Not sure. I'm gonna ask my wife's opinion. My focus will be to keep my children out of this. He wasn't necessarily in this, but you now know I have a son. And if she doesn't want his voice in this, I'm pretty sure he's in it. And a little bit of comedy there, so we'll see. I'm gonna present it and then make a decision as a family. That's where I'm at. I'm not going to be putting their faces into the videos. If anything, perhaps, you know, shots of the backs or their hands and feet. But you know, until they can decide I'm going to choose to be in this, I'm just going to keep them out out of respect for them. All right, so here we go. Be well, enjoy your day, like, subscribe, share with your friends, comment. Be good to yourself.